Today, we're going to learn about pleats by making this fancy collar. Welcome to Rubberly Workshop. Thanks for joining us in the workshop again. Today, we're teaching a small lesson that comes in super handy for larger projects. Pleats. They may seem complicated, but they're not once you've started making them. Here's one I made long before this channel existed. So the best way to get started is to make something small, like this collar. We're going to be working with two kinds of latex, turquoise for the band and bubblegum pink for the frills. Both latex sheets are 0.4mm thick and are available from Radical Rubber. We'll be using our usual tools. As always, you can check the workshop playlist and find what you need in Ep 1, or straight up, you can buy the Crafter's gift box, both links in the description. Moving on. To start, I took a circumference measurement of their neck. It was 36cm. We don't want the collar to be too tight, so we'll only reduce the measurement by 3%. That roughly works out to be 35cm. The band will be 2.5cm high, of which half a centimetre each side will be used to seam the frills to. As usual for the band, I'll allow a seam of 1cm, so that means the length is now 36cm and the height is 2.5cm. Let's measure and cut that piece from the turquoise latex. No patterns, just a ruler and some good measurements. So the band piece is cut. Basically, this will eventually be seamed from end to end, and the frills we're about to make will be attached to the top and the bottom. When making pleats, the rule of thumb is to take 3 times the length. So the band is not pleated, we took 35cm of that, plus 1cm for the seam. So 3 times 35, that's 105cm, plus 1cm for the seam. The height of the frills will be 2.5cm. So the strips we'll be cutting of the bubblegum pink latex will be 106 by 2.5cm. And we'll need 2 of those. Not bad, we've got all the pieces we need and we're ready to get to work. Place the band on the table, dull side facing up. The frills will attach with a 0.5 centimetre seam. So let's start with one side. Make occasional 0.5 centimetre markings like so. Place some masking tape over the piece like so, only exposing that 0.5 centimetre gap. Now take the first frill piece, place it shiny side up, like we did before. Mark 0.5 centimetre points along the piece and tape it off, exposing a 0.5 centimetre section. Mark the tape as shiny side, as it's difficult to track when both sides are getting glued. We'll use a marker for that. Flip it over dull side up and do the marking and taping thing the same way. While we're on the dull side, let's mark the tape every 3 centimetres, just like so. Right till we get to the end. This will help us guide the pleating. That's one side of the frill sorted. Let's make the second one just the same. Here, have a montage. Alright, glove up, mask up and find a space with good airflow to work. It's time to work with those nasty glues and solvents. Now we're ready to clean our seams. Grab some solvent and a rag. We'll clean this seam on the dull side of the band. While we're at it, let's clean the chalk marks off the other side. This piece has been obviously cut from some scrap. On both the frill pieces, we'll clean the seams on both sides. Now, get some glue dished out. We'll start by using our mini spatula to thinly spread some glue along the first seam on the band piece. Don't worry about the other frill side, we're only working on one seam at a time. Now take one of the frill pieces and glue the seams on both sides. With the band and one of the frills, you're ready to go. Here's where the pleat starts, and I'm going to take this one slow for you. At the start of a frill, where you started marking those 3cm markings, let's carefully join the band and frill together, from 0 up until the first 3cm marking. To make the first pleat, we gather from the first 3cm marking to the second, and we fold it over like so. Congratulations, you've just made your first pleat. This is typically called a knife pleat. Again, we're going to continue to fold and glue using the 3cm markings as our guide. Don't stretch anything, keep going right through until the end. Your pleats should look a bit like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as you're consistently making the folds roughly the same length, it's going to look great. And as we keep on doing this, you should have a collar that looks halfway done, like so. Nice. And that's one set of pleats done. If you're happy with how it looks, hit it with a seam roller and move on. It's time to remove the tape from the band. We need to tape off the other ½ cm seam on the other side of the band. This can get a little tricky as the tape I've got is pretty wide and will overlap our previous work. I believe you can probably find some more narrow masking tape off AliExpress or something, but I couldn't be bothered with waiting, so we'll persevere. And with some effort, we got this seam taped off. Let's give it a clean and get to work. Take a moment to go after any stray glue too. Like the previous pleats, we're following the same pattern. I don't think I need to explain it all over again, just rewind the video if you get stuck. Once we're done, we'll run over it with the seam roller to keep it all in place. Holding the seam, gently pull the tape up. Be careful not to rip the seam apart. And just like that, it's beginning to look like a frilly collar. The last step is to clean this flat area at the end. Glue them and join them together. Check that the join is nice and even. Again, press it with the seam roller and you're good to go. That was nice and easy. Anyone can make this. Inspect the collar, make sure there's no stray glue. Use a bit of solvent on a rag to clean it up if there is. Check the pleats especially that nothing is stuck together. With the collar looking great, we'll dust it over with some talcum powder and let it cure for 24 hours. This will help keep stray glue from sticking during the process. After 24 hours, we'll wash it in light dishwashing detergent. Get that powder cleaned off and rinse it good. Now, we'll use some Dip Shine by Frilly to get it shined to perfection. And if you need to shine your gear just as well, you can buy our Shine products in Frilly store. Just head to rubber.ly and hit the store tab, link in the description. Every purchase supports the channel and we thank our viewers for their generous support. Let's see how it looks. And doesn't this collar look great? I think Alec rocks this collar well. But, let me let you in on a little secret. This is part of another Frilly episode you'll see soon. It'll be part of another outfit. What outfit, you ask? Well, you'll have to watch this space. Smash that subscribe button and be in the front row for when that episode comes out. If you made it this far, then congrats. You get the extra bits to enjoy. The bits too big to fit in the tutorial. So let's give some fast facts about pleats. Why 3 times the amount of material? This is a simple one. If you have a look at the drawing, as the pleats are gathered, you can pretty much see that we're stacking the latex in groups of 3. As such, you need 3 centimeters to achieve 1 usable centimeter. What are some other pleats? There's plenty. What we've done today is a simple knife pleat. There's others, such as the box pleat, cluster pleat, or the kick pleat. Just be aware that if you're looking these up, they're typically aimed at people who sew their things together. Because with latex, we glue our things together, we have to modify things a little to allow for the seams to work. But with a little spark of creativity and the know-how you get from our workshop videos, you're well placed to make something great. Well, that's all for today. I hope you learned something new. Happy crafting!